100 Civics Questions for U.S. Citizenship 2025, Animated Interview Practice, Part 9, 81 to 90. The quiet meeting room from Part 8 looks the same, with another neat stack of civics cards beside the completed pile. Anne and Mark take their usual seats and continue smoothly into Part 9 without breaking the calm.
Welcome back, Mark. This quiet room is still doing its job. Ready for the next 10?
Absolutely, Anne. Let's keep the focus just like we did in Part 8.
Question 81. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. A. The Revolutionary War. B. World War I. C. The Civil War.
I think the answer is C. The Civil War.
Correct. The Civil War, 1861 to 1865, was fought between the Union, North, and the Confederacy, South, primarily over slavery and the preservation of the Union. It remains the deadliest conflict in U.S. history and led to constitutional changes abolishing slavery. A is incorrect because the Revolutionary War was fought against Great Britain for independence. B is incorrect because World War I involved international alliances in the 1910s, not a North-South conflict within the United States. Question 82. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? A. To give a driver's license. B. To coin money. C. To declare war.
I think the answer is A. To give a driver's license.
Correct. States handle many day-to-day regulatory functions, including issuing driver's licenses and vehicle registrations. This is part of the division of powers reserved to states under the 10th Amendment. B is incorrect because coining or printing money is a federal power. C is incorrect because declaring war is a federal responsibility of Congress. Question 83. Why does the flag have 50 stars? A. Because there were 13 original colonies. B. Because there are 50 state capitals. C. Because there are 50 states.
I think the answer is C. Because there are 50 states.
Correct. Each star symbolizes one state in the Union, and the total has increased over time as new states were admitted. The current 50-star design has been in use since Hawaii became a state in 1959. A is incorrect because 13 refers to the stripes, not the stars. B is incorrect because the flag's stars do not represent capitals. Question 84. Who did the United States fight in World War II? A. The Ottoman Empire, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria. B. Japan, Italy, Germany. C. Spain, Portugal, Netherlands.
I think the answer is B. Japan, Italy, Germany.
Correct. In World War II, the principal adversaries of the United States were the Axis powers, Japan in the Pacific and Germany, and Italy in Europe and North Africa. U.S. forces fought across multiple theaters until the Axis surrendered in 1945. A is incorrect because those powers were central in World War I, not World War II. C is incorrect because Spain, Portugal and the Netherlands were not U.S. enemies in that war. Question 85. Where is the Statue of Liberty? A. New York Harbor. B. Liberty Island, New Jersey. C. Ellis Island, New York.
I think the answer is A. New York Harbor.
Correct. The Statue of Liberty stands in New York Harbor and is a symbol of freedom and welcome to immigrants arriving by sea. More specifically, it is located on Liberty Island within the harbor. B is incorrect as written because the only accepted location is New York Harbor, while Liberty Island sits near New Jersey waters. The official answer for the civics test is New York Harbor. C is incorrect because Ellis Island is a separate historic immigration station nearby, not the statue's site. Question 86. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? A. Because there were 13 constitutional amendments. B. Because there were 13 presidents before Washington. C. Because there were 13 original colonies.
I think the answer is C. Because there were 13 original colonies.
Correct. The stripes honor the original 13 colonies that declared independence from Britain and formed the United States. This design preserves historical memory even as the number of stars changed over time. A is incorrect because the early nation did not have exactly 13 amendments at the time the flag was established. B is incorrect because George Washington was the first president. There were not 13 presidents before him. Question 87. Name your U.S. representative. A. The governor of your state. B. Depends on where you live. C. The vice president.
I think the answer is B. Depends on where you live.
Correct. Members of the House of Representatives are elected from districts within each state, so the correct name varies by your address and by election year. On the real test, you must provide the current name for your own district. A is incorrect because the governor serves at the state level, not in the House. C is incorrect because the vice president serves in the executive branch and as president of the Senate, not as a U.S. representative. Question 88. What is the capital of the United States? A. Washington, D.C. B. New York City. C. Philadelphia.
I think the answer is A. Washington, D.C.
Correct. Washington, D.C. is the federal capital, home to the White House, Congress, and the Supreme Court. It was established to be independent of any state and centrally located for the early nation. B is incorrect because New York City was an early capital but is not the current one. C is incorrect because Philadelphia was also an early capital, not the present capital. Question 89. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. A. Disputes over Western mountain ranges. B. Tariff policies after World War II. C. Slavery.
I think the answer is C. Slavery.
Correct. the expansion and defense of slavery, and whether it would spread to new territories, was a central cause of the sectional crisis that led to the Civil War. Political compromises repeatedly failed to resolve the moral and economic conflict over enslavement. A is incorrect because geographic disputes over mountain ranges were not a primary cause. B is incorrect because World War II occurred long after the Civil War era. Question 90. What is the highest court in the United States? A. The Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. B. The Supreme Court. C. The Federal District Court.
I think the answer is B. The Supreme Court.
Correct. The Supreme Court sits at the top of the federal judiciary and has final authority on questions of federal law and constitutional interpretation. Its decisions bind lower courts and often shape national policy. A is incorrect because the D.C. Circuit is an appellate court below the Supreme Court. C is incorrect because federal district courts are trial courts, not the highest court. You're closing in on the finish line. Carry today's calm into the interview by listening fully and answering directly. If something feels unfamiliar, ask politely for a repeat and use the anchor word to guide your memory before choosing.
Thanks, Anne. I'll rely on the same steady rhythm we built since Part 7 and Part 8, and I'll eliminate choices tied to the wrong era, branch, or place.
Arrive a little early with your documents organized, breathe before each response, and keep answers concise but complete. Trust your preparation. You understand both the facts and the reasoning behind them.
I appreciate the encouragement. With this quiet room routine and your guidance, I feel confident and ready for the real interview.